Hi, if you're new here, I'm Ganita, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch a film requested on Patreon. It's called Mr. Nobody, year 2009, and as usual, I don't know anything about the movie. I only saw the cover when I was looking for it, and I saw the title, and honestly, just from this information, it looks super exciting. So I can't wait to watch it and see what it is about. Let's get to it. Let's go. Go. Alright. It's 2 hours 35 minutes, and I think I have downloaded like the extended cut. It's not like a crazy quality. Yeah, the video is lagging a little, to be honest. And as usual, it's going to be, I'll just show a little bit in the beginning so you can synchronize, because it's a follow along type of reaction, so I will only be showing subtitles and a timer in the corner of the screen. Yeah, so far it's just, I think that's the participation. When I was looking at the film, and usually they show you the country that the film was made in, it showed like 4 5 different countries. I'm like, okay, that's a jointed effort. So I guess now we are seeing all of the organizations that participated in the creation of the movie. And also what I know, that it was in a category of art house. I think that's in English, it's the same term, right? So it should be something a little bit non-conventional, which I think is exciting. Is it the start of the film already with the pigeon? Oh, the music is so pretty. A film by, I'm not sure how to read his name, Jacques One, Jared Leto. Okay. Confidential information, but my best friend, I think she had a crush on Jared Leto when I was little. that's that's like my main knowledge about him. I thought he was a musician, but apparently he's. I'm very bad at actors, by the way. Um, you know, this pigeon is really cute, but the music is actually fabulous. As I said, I also can't show the music in my reaction, obviously. But if you are watching along with me, you can hear it in your version, I suppose, right? What does he have here? Like a piece of apple? So he was solving a puzzle, how to get to it. Okay. Fair point. Do you think? Well, he's trying to find a pattern. So cute, though. Yeah, that's already getting kind of philosophical, I feel like. Mr. Nobody. I think that's how science also like goes forward, right? Trying to find patterns and what causes what. So we start with the death. Do you mean like what led me to, what specific actions led me to death? If we try to parallel it with the pigeon story. Holy shit! How did you get in there? What happened? I guess went off road. This is the same person, right? Okay. Maybe that's the kind of story where we start like we are shown the climax, so to say, where he's already dead. Holy shit! Okay, that's an interesting option. The first two looked more realistic. I guess that's like you are in a cryo dream when traveling through the galaxy, so to say. That was that option. Like, what did I do to deserve it? How did I get to this? Okay. Oh, that's his actual surname. Okay. Okay, that's a good joke. I don't remember already, to be honest. If he did die at 35, but then came back to life and he is still stuck. 34? Sorry. Okay. Okay, so that's like a sci-fi. We are in the future. The last mortal? But he died at 34. Is he actually mortal? Did he have this dream here at 34, I suppose? Okay. Good start. He's married. Okay. Very pretty color on the walls. Gives it, like beachy feelings. I've translated too many shows about houses. this wallpaper, this wallpaper is also so pretty in their bedroom. Like, by the way, wow. He has kids too. Okay. If he does die, it sucks for his family. What the fuck? Like time going backwards? And this is a different family for some reason. Does he live like in different timelines? Is that the thing? Different deaths, different destinies, and then he got it mixed up. Like when he was old. And even now. She will think like, is he cheating on me? Who the heck is Elise? And this is like a completely different life he has in a parallel universe or something. Okay, here we also have friends. Holy shit, this is... Are they here for our funeral or something? Hello, weird person. No, I don't think so. Okay, so he was working here in some kind of office. Is he talking backwards? Like the mailman was going backwards. Now the cars are also going backwards. Okay, I guess that's the sign, like with the pigeon. Things going backwards is when we are being thrown in a different line of our life. Here he died in a car crash or something. It wasn't even a crash. Not sure what happened. We are back here. Is this like... telemerized? What the fuck? They're cute, but... Oh, so exciting. Oh my gosh, this is so dystopian. The show. Okay, I'll assume this is like the main um line, so to say. Main history line. That is weird. But maybe he is trying to remember his life and he can't figure it out. And these options are all like versions of him trying to remember how his life actually was. Not different like timelines. Okay. 117, by the way. It's great achievement. That's a lot. Okay. So basically just hypnosis. Is this another death option? Okay. Here. He came here when he was so young. In that future, everyone is immortal because they became, I don't know what happened, like digital or something. How did it happen that he is the only one last mortal? Just because he lived that long? Because he refused this kind of operation? Then why his memory is so weird? Something has happened to him, right? shoot a unicorn. Okay. When unicorns existed, there was a time. Okay. I see. So this is like another world akin to paradise in this universe, where the souls of the children already exist before being born, and see there's angels and stuff. Mm-mm. Yeah, that's like very fairy tale style. So I didn't forget. That's even more like fantasy than sci-fi. So she wants another child. It seems. No subtitles. Because they didn't say anything. Well, it's about changing the past. It's not about what is meant to be as a destiny between two lovers. It's a bit different. In this universe, so the child is like, which ones do I choose? That's funny. But then wouldn't he just know everything about his life? Why would he have memories of maybe all the potential lives? Maybe that's the idea, because now he chooses the parents. But then he could choose differently. Oh, that's how they met? Thanks to the leaf, I see. Perfect names. Very inventive. They seem like nice people. Fair point. Well, he thinks, so he exists. It's not about seeing. That's kind of creepy. Okay. Okay. Her brush is beautiful. Makes sense. Why? Bravo for falling? Bravo. That's what did he do? They're generally nice, and it's not like what she did seemed very painful, but I don't agree with the physical punishment. Oh, his dad has an interesting job. That's him, right? That's the same hair. The past. That's a bad answer. You should try to answer something. Children are curious. They want to know some kind of answers, not just, well, stop asking. D- so you weren't authorized. What if he dies because of you? How irresponsible. Mm-hmm. Bad news. Quasi immortality. Telememorization. Oh, that's what it is. So it's actually mortality, not like digital or anything. Life was good. Vices of life. It's part of life. It's good in a way, right? That's what you're interested. People do it for pleasure mostly. So how does it become obsolete? Do they like are they did they become asexual? Is love also obsolete now? Like does generation of cells make you asexual and aromantic? Mm-hmm. 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 Is this ketchup? Yeah, but if the time is reversed. Well, that was interesting. Eat both. Actually, the roll looks really nice. I think I want the role. He couldn't choose? Ah, no, he's... Okay. I saw this method in movies oftentimes. Yeah, see, these are all the options. This sounds horrible when I say it like this. Like, options of his future, right? And somehow, some way, he remembers all the time, all the possible timelines. What if he was born to other parents? What if he married another woman? What if he maybe didn't marry at all? What, etc., 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 right? Maybe that's why we also talk of butterfly effect. It maybe applies a little here, right? So everything in his life can change from some little things, some little decisions. And then also his death would be different. And maybe in one timeline he managed to live until 117. Though he still thinks he's 34. Yeah, that makes sense. He's levitating. That is a little bit unexpected. Is it a side effect of not getting the thing? Did he have a nightmare? Did his dad accidentally kill someone? No, it seems like everything is okay now. Oh no, his car didn't stop. Ah, like how did this get here? It was an eggshell. Oh my god. That was also his mom? With another baby or something? What the fuck? Is she blind also? It was going so fucking slowly. It's kinda more her fault, to be honest. Okay, maybe it was slowed down for the viewer. Now he's the maker of that food that had an eggshell to it and caused this accident. Ah, no, his mom is okay. Yeah, that's actually a thing that happens. Maybe he goes for a lifetime. But then if he is reborn, would they again forget to do it? I think he does have it now. Maybe because he was in water. But they are trying to cover it with something as if he doesn't have it. So no, I think after all, these are different timelines, like going in parallel. Um, Not him being reborn. But he died at 34 most of those options anyway, right? Hmm. Just staring at how creepily. Okay. Also, I think the water is often used as a metaphor of rebirth and stuff, right? So, where was there an option where he died that young? No, I think not. It's like the version of his future. And now that's an actual dude being like, don't drown. Was he close to drowning? Is he sleeping? Yeah. Allowed? That's his decision. It should be his decision. That's so disgusting. Okay. 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 Okay, now he's in school and he's tailing his mom. Alright. Um, what's happening? Is this like an affair with an older guy? In a forest? They met in a forest to kiss? And then say that is the weirdest like stuff. They just met to make out for a few seconds and then they're like, well, bye. I'm sorry. So do we assume his dad caused an accident with some other woman with a little baby, right? Not like his potential brother or sister or anything. And then maybe that caused a rift between his parents and his mom started cheating. That's one of the girls he likes. And she is like daughter or maybe granddaughter, I don't know, of this man she's having an affair with. That's not what they're doing. So they're divorcing. And he's going to live with one of them. That could also be, like a fork in what his life could be. For example, he goes to live with dad or he goes to live with mom. He's going to have different lives. We will have different timelines. See, he is choosing. What, does he have time until the train arrives? That's a bit too much pressure. Well, maybe he had time before that too, I suppose. It just came to the last moment. Well, to be honest, considering his dad caused an accident, well, though the woman was kind of at fault, mom would be technically the more responsible one in terms of taking care of the kid. His affair is not good, of course, but it doesn't have much with um, responsibility to children. Well, it does, but In general, I think both his parents seem pretty nice. I think he would be fine with either option. His dad seems depressed, so maybe that would be a bit harder, but it's not like they're alcoholics or anything. See, maybe that's another option. He doesn't make it. He thinks about going after mom, but maybe he doesn't make it and he has to stay. Is there an option where he just decides to stay with his dad? I'm sorry, that is weird. That he has to run after if he's already made his choice and he stays with that just because he couldn't make it. That is so fucking weird, like realistically, right? I would prefer it would be like he actually made this choice, because if he clearly chooses to stay with mom here, then it would be responsible for dad to actually like get on the next train and bring him to mom, because like otherwise it's going to be super awkward. Okay. Yeah, see, that seems weird. It's like you stayed with me just because you couldn't catch up to mom. See, these are two different, like, this is already a divergence here in the timeline. Both. Yeah, so that's the thing. He remembers like all of the options he got in life. Uh okay, that's maybe why they did it as an option to stay with dad. Like, because how the boots were manufactured, blah blah blah, he lost that boot, he couldn't make it, and so he had to stay with dad. So his decision was always to stay with mom. He would always try to get to her. It's just the question of if he did succeed or not. Again, I think if he made the choice. Yeah, it would be just be responsible to bring him to mom after all, if he wants to be with her. It's just okay. Okay. They're trying to make a point. Um, I'm just. Okay, now we are in the era with only one parent. So that's maybe like our second point of diversion, I would say, because I think the first would be choosing different parents. Nice music. Oh my god. So there was an option where he dies early to suicide? What the fuck happened? Why isn't she reacting to him being fucking dead? Is she blind? What is going on? Is that why he committed suicide? They had such a horrible relationship? Oh no, he moves. So that was a prank? So he knows all like the futures of other people as well, right? As I would take note. That's so fast that, well, we do have trains that are mega fast now. I don't think he's trying to be funny here. Seconds before. my god. Okay, his relationship with mama seems pretty shitty. She seemed like a nice lady before. She also continues this like physical punishment. Again, not super strong and painful, but still, that's degrading. She doesn't respect him as a person. Ma'am? Ah, my son died. Who fucking cares? Oh, okay, he's okay. So does he make these fake outs often? So she's super used to it. But then what if he does it for real? Oh, that's the same name as the girl with the braid, right? This his first crush. Oh my god. She couldn't have recognized. I wouldn't recognize. If it's really the same girl that saw him like one time. I wouldn't recognize her, and I would recognize him in both of their places. Oh, she has the braid again. That's for us to remember. What the fuck? Don't be so pushy. Okay. I mean, maybe her friends were mean to him. This is an option where he didn't get together with this girl. Maybe if he went to swim, then they would be together. So now she has like different family with someone else. Okay. Like, this is the plot line where he became a scientist or something because he had the similar look when he was talking about that theory of time and stuff. He still remembers this. I wonder. So maybe in this future he is alone. He doesn't have. He doesn't have a ring. So maybe that's the option where he didn't end up with anybody. So that's why he's like, oh, I could be like with her, right? And I fucked it up. Now we see the different option. Yeah, that's kind of fun, you know? Like in a video game, you choosing different options. Ah, so in first option he was too shy to say he doesn't know how to swim. He didn't want to admit it. Well, he kind of did swim there in the pool, didn't he? Not perfectly, but so in this option where he's honest, she decides to stay with him because she sympathizes, and also he was honest, which is very attractive. Let's say not the best word, but the one I found. And so that was the beginning of the relationship. Oh, I thought they looked older in the bed scene. But they are like brother and sister, not by blood, but maybe because of this. That's the man she had an affair with, and she's with him, but their kids like each other too. But if their parents get like married or something, they become technically brother and sister, which is awkward. Especially since they already like each other. If he wasn't a jerk, I think in this option, he wasn't. What do you mean? Interesting questions. I suppose so. Wasn't she with this man like for a while now? How would he know? Okay, I agree. But also he says like, yeah, sometimes, like not all the time. So is this in the sci-fi world? Is this him seeing the future? He looks that much far into the future. Yes. I think he's seeing a mystery. Like in my mind, I'm still now 9. Then he was 34. It's like the case, all of his memories from all the timelines, all within his head at the same time, simultaneously. That must be so overwhelming. Okay, back to Anna plotline? Oh, oh my god. Their parents, I think, by the sounds. Okay. Mm. That's the same shot as we saw before, but I think they were shown to be older in that shot. Yeah, that is awkward that they're kind of family now, but at the same time, they already liked each other here, and before becoming family, and they are not actually connected by blood in any way, so it's okay. Very convenient for them to live in the same place also. Their parents very busy with themselves. And maybe even if they see them like this, they would be like, oh, they're just sleeping together. Or maybe not. So it's like, oh, I was in a toilet. I'm curious, will we see like the dead plotline? Maybe through the postcard. Like mom sends the postcard and he is home with dead. Let's see. Okay. How you doing, Dad? Yeah, see, he's not doing well. Oh. Mm-hmm. Maybe he becomes more responsible because he feels like he has to take care of his dad. Um, because his dad clearly isn't doing well. So obviously because of that he grows up to be a very different person. His mom was very self-sufficient, so to say, right? So he could be more childish, more bratty with her, but here he feels like he is now an adult. His dad is clearly suffering even more than I thought. Looks like he also has some health problems. Wow, okay. Fair point. It's easier for an adult to travel. See, he's trying to act more mature here. But maybe here he needs some kind of outlet for his emotions. He's trying to support his dad also psychologically. So here he likes to go out on night rides to kind of find some kind of outlet, right? And maybe starts writing also because of it to express his feelings and emotions. Mm-hmm. Oh, and here he is also very interested in cosmos, in space. Now, is he inventing it, or is this his memories that he is writing because he can see the future? Mm-hmm. Like I said, I called it like cryo freeze, sleep, or something. Very classic option in sci-fi, um, for space travel purposes and time travel purposes. Okay, so here it's Elise. He looks like a bat in a way, a little bit. So many. Wait up. I wish I could scroll back. Did they all look very similar? Hmm. What was it? 53 minutes. Okay, I'll try to remember to watch it later. Because I'm watching with the timer. I don't want to like scroll back and mess it up. So also, I love his hairstyle in this version so much. I don't know, just long. I guess it's also like his dad also has like longer hair, so he's like takes a little bit more after his dad with the longer hair. I feel like more similar hairstyle. Um, do I know this song? Is this Elise? Okay, this guy was very mean to her, it seems. Not sure what happened exactly. What happened, girl? What did he say, I wonder? Do you know me? I don't know. Maybe that was her like ex-boyfriend that broke up with her. That's why she was so heartbroken. And now she'll get together with Nima in this timeline. That's not how it works, but okay. I hope it's clean. Mm. So she just kinda used him as not maybe a good expression, but to get out of there, ground herself in something after the breakup. Is it requirement? Yeah, maybe I just want to be alone. Maybe yeah, she's also maybe trying to distract herself. Talk, talk. Well, she has to say something, and he did. And he is very interested in this theme, so that's why it comes to mind. Really? What is going on, girl? I barely know you. um. Yeah, I think she likes. She was one of the girls on the bench. Elise, yes. I think she probably likes him for a while, maybe. Yeah, in the future line, if we don't fuck up this timeline right now with this relationship. Um, she changed her mind. Yeah, you seem a bit weird, I admit. Maybe she's going for something. Maybe she does. Well, they go to the same school. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Ah, like she's similar to mom. That's it. I would love to know a little bit more. Okay, so here he what? That's his scientist plotline. But here he does have a wife, and maybe that was Elise. Also, pheromones are an interest. Oh no, poor bird. Is he okay? That's how he dies. That's one of his options. Okay, so maybe when he's a scientist and when he's with Elise, he dies here in water. That is so horrible. A lot of car accidents in this movie, by the way. A lot is connected with the cars. I think they're just thinking, what the fuck is this thing in our waters? I wanted to say something. Okay, I didn't have time. With love, you can also fall in love without the smell and even the view of a person. So it's not like the pheromones specifically necessarily, and not even the parts of how the person looks. You can fall in love without even seeing a person. Mm-hmm. Also, what about, yeah, as I was saying, cars? He did predict an accident. He only said like the day of the week, though. I don't think he said like this Saturday or anything. Um, right. So this is more like his rebel timeline. Sure, how much sun do they have in here? She looks very pale. What is this? Yeah, like they're in this phase where they're very much into each other and they're very horny about each other. Okay, we still have time. I'm just thinking. I also are we going to be shown like there are two options, mom or dad, two different girls. But there was also like the third wife. At least that we saw. She was also on the bench, by the way. Were there three or four girls? I think there were maybe three. So we see the exploration of different like timelines with what choices we made in our video game, and I don't like sexual scenes, so I want to talk about it. We got okay. Wait, Anne, Elise, and the third girl. Or there is in a different timeline. Also, he meets his love of his life pretty early. See, he's still a teenager, and that's the woman he's going to stay with and marry, as it seems, right? Um, Also, as there is an option where he doesn't get with Anne, there must be options. Yes, yes. Oh my gosh. So he's. Is this like dementia or something? Yeah, so there must be a version where he's with Elise and the version where he didn't get with Elise also. Like, so many different divergences. And yeah, his dad already showed signs of, I think that's called dementia, but I could be wrong, right? So he has this like memory problems. Usually it happens with very old people. Um, but it seems like for his dad it happened way earlier. Okay, so this is Elise. This is again the guy that was super mean to her. Why is she hanging out with him again? He caused her to have like hysterics. Maybe she has a very big crush on him and can't get over it. She clearly showed interest. Wait, the Leaf. What happened with Leaf before? Ah, right, his parents met. Oh my god. This could also be like a version of death. We saw like suicide fake outs with mom. Nothing happened. Um, though I think maybe it could. In different timelines. Okay, he survived here though. Okay. But I feel like it could also be he could also die and then would be another divergence in the lines. Scroll back time. He did talk about this must also be an important point. What if he goes forward, then he's like, nope, scrolls back. So it's all the same life, but he loads the saves and he goes through them, making different choices, you know? I feel like the video game analogy is very convenient here. So he goes back in time, checks other option. He goes back in time, checks other option, etc. Didn't you know her for like 5 seconds? Okay, maybe that was off screen something. Maybe some more interactions happened because she said like they met a bit when they were little, but not much, and he never like noticed her much. But maybe there were more interactions after that one in the club. Yeah, she has a huge crush on that mean guy, I think. Yeah, and it's hard for her to get over it. You tried your best. She'll get over it. I mean, over her feelings for Stefano. Already? So, maybe she says no. Well, she clearly stated her feelings. And I guess Stefano is just like, well, I got someone to sleep with. Oh. Okay, so that's one of the divergence. That must be one of the other wives that we saw. So he's like, I'm going to make a decision this night. I'm going to do my best to pursue a girl that gives me the first dance. So there the divergence would mostly depend on Alice's actions then, not on his, which is interesting. Smell like, oh. Okay, this girl clearly likes him. So I won't leave anything to chance. I'm having this life. And that's it. Oh my god. Okay, that's what we saw when he was a kid in the pool. He saw his wife swimming to him, and then it turned out to be a guy who saved him. But did he actually drown in his own pool in this option? Or maybe he. How did he manage also to drown in his own pool? Jin. That must be the girl on the motorcycle, right? And in here, he like maybe already forgot his crush on Elise by this time. Yeah, he kind of. Yeah, so he doesn't enjoy life with her. I feel like because he didn't choose her because he was in love with her. He just wanted to make a choice and control it. He doesn't remember writing it. Ew. And now as a kid he's seeing this future? No, that's Anna. Yeah, he had a dream about his future with Jin. But now he's in the present with Anna. Oh, they're having an argument. Maybe they're not going to be brother and sister anymore. Yay! I think. She looks more upset than Hare. Yay! Yeah, I'm sure the kids are happy. Ah, maybe they will be unhappy because they. It's not sick, they are not actually brother and sister. Yeah, technically they are not. Maybe they are upset because like they won't be able to live together. That's why they are sad. isn't for that for the best? They're not going to be brother and sister anymore. They can still date. They didn't say anything about like one of them moving somewhere far away. Oh, okay. I guess it was implied. Is this still the plotline where they marry? Or maybe that it's another divergence where it just doesn't work out. I mean, her father kind of sucks. I really dislike him. It seems like he broke mom's heart. That's big words. Well, it's the matter of perception. Like they're kind of lying in a yin and yang formation, so to say, which is interesting. It's like you find the idea is that you find your other half, but also the idea is that if life goes differently, you can your other half would be different. Though the plot lines in terms of romance do seem like he has the strongest connection with her actually. So that is like most optimal romance plot line in his video game. Because what was her name? Julie? I forgot. We spent very little time with her. He clearly, yeah, he wasn't like in love with her. She really liked him, I think, but he just wanted to make a choice that he had like power over, it seems. So that's very sad. Here we see really strong emotions, while with Elise, it's unclear. He clearly liked her, it seems, but maybe we need to see more. But yeah, Anna seems to be the most like his other half, if you could have that. Though it would be interesting if the film actually showed that idea that you can, like, if your life goes differently, you can fall in love with different people, and in any occasion it will feel like this is the love of your life, this is like the person you want to love forever and ever. So it's not like there's this one designated person for you, no matter what choice det finns weird you make, but life actually has a choice, and there are different people in the world who could possibly become your other half, like they say, right? It's not like soulmate, one soulmate in the whole world. So they are moving out also, it seems, maybe to a smaller flat. Okay. See, this is like spring, and wait, no, that's still winter. Because I feel like usually the ice starts moving on the water in spring, in the beginning of spring. Okay, no, start of winter, actually. Yeah, then it could be a parallel for like the winter of their relationship. Winter of life. Okay, that is so mean. What the fuck, lady? We could say like, oh, she wants his heart to heal and like forget this and everything, but it's not her choice to make. That's how he drowned in his own pool. Yeah, their relationship is pretty bad, to be honest. And drown in it. Just make it not deep and enjoy. Make a smaller show. Wow, he looks really pretty. I like the long hair. Okay, wait, which option is this? Are we still in like Anna in the future, or I think yes. So maybe they like meet again when they are adults and rekindle the old flame. Yeah, see, she is still in his heart for so long. And in the option where he fucked up the dialogue near the water on the beach, he also still like was thinking about it and beating himself up. Okay, so in this option where he didn't fuck up the dialogue, he meets her at the same spot. Mm. So in both options, they didn't see each other for a long time, but in this option, he is still in her heart and she's also still. Um, so she didn't move on in this option, and they met and rekindled their flame. What is this? Why are they watching the movie if they are asleep? Okay, I wanted to look more at them. I feel like it's all him in every capsule. Though that's kind of crazy. Everywhere he is one. Okay, this is Elise plotline. Maybe. And like this here is him on the cosmic ship, I think before that sci-fi future where we see him as an old man. Okay, no, these are a lot of different people. So it's just different him depending on the choices he made in life and the accidents that happened in life. Choices other people made. Mars. Do you have Elisa's ashes? Not much to do. I don't know. There were a lot of people coming there. So maybe this is where many people chose to do this regeneration of cells, but he didn't. He kept aging. Maybe some others didn't, but died already. other nurse? Oh, so this conversation could go different. He's being more push. Okay, he put just a little bit more effort in convincing her, and it worked out. But again, I feel like, right, we are not shown as strong feelings as he had with Anna in his other arc. Maybe it is implied that he chose Elise because he reminds him of his mom. She's still the same as a kid. She was also saying she's not a good person. She has some internal struggles that she didn't sort out. Maybe she needs a doctor, like psychologist or something. I'm not sure. Is that depression? I'm not a psychologist. That's cold. Oh, she really goes through a lot. She needs professional help. Like, she had it always since she was a kid, and she wasn't helped by anyone. How does she know the answer? I Oh, girl. Girl. She's like, I'll try my best to be with my kids. They're like, what is this lady doing? Okay, some motivation helps her to like get up and do something, but I feel like maybe or maybe she tries like too hard mm, to like overcompensates, so to say, right, for her uh depressive episodes, if we can say it. I'm not sure if that's like, is this depression or more like this really bad case of bad self-esteem um that she has. That must be also like, yeah, something psychological. um yeah, I think like something like therapy should help at least somehow. Also, he seems to be a really sweet person in this plot line. I feel like because he had to take care of his dad, now he has to take care of his wife and his kids. He is very sweet, responsible, and selfless in this plot line. Oh my god, is this another death option? It's probably time. Oh, this is like old song. What is happening? Look, his car is being washed. The song is beautiful. Also, it's again water. If there's a lot of water in this movie. I feel like it is a symbolism, and also the fact that he can't swim. It must be not accidental. Girl, are you okay? Okay, he is alive at this point. Why is he driving directly to her? Okay. She's having another really bad episode. At least take your boots on. Call the ambulance. Oh my god. See, that's not quite an answer to "Do you love me?" But okay. Yeah, that's the family with really nice. At least he has fabulous wallpaper in this timeline. Is this Anna again? You know I'm bad with faces. I feel like it could be. Um, I do believe he loves Elise in this plot line, but I feel like I don't know, like the movie does imply that Anna is the optimal one. Which I feel like, okay, that is fair. You can find different people, and one specific person would be the best for you, right? With Elise, we clearly see like the struggle. With the other lady, he just didn't love her thing, and oh my god, see, this is the same scene, but then that lady was okay. I think that is a lady, I'm not quite sure. And he did give her money and she was like sitting normally. But now it's she's dead. Oh my god. So what is this plot line? It's Anna again, without the kids. Last time we met her after relationship with her. It was another situation. So there are different plot lines where, well, that makes sense, of course. And could there be also different versions of him being with Elise, for example? Maybe they're playing like when they were kids. Maybe we saw a really bad version of Elise. Maybe there is a better one. Yes, see, like they also still love each other and they had each other in their hearts, but the other circumstances were different when they met, right? Again, in the as adults. Yeah, they're even showing parallel, I feel like, right? Just like when we were kids, we were having sex, now we're having sex as adults. But yeah, I guess the idea here is that we will always love each other. That is the love that didn't just like fade away with years, right? Their feelings were so strong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I would say the same, then I would fall in love. Because as a teenager, you are very dramatic about your feelings, but it looks like she was like super serious about this. Must have been really strong feelings. And for him, it was the same. Mm-hmm. But she probably also has different plot lines. She just doesn't remember them. I closed off my heart for so long that it's hard to warm up now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's understandable. Mm-hmm. So she's not ready to just jump into it. Well, how about we just like see each other on weekends, go on dates, like get used to it slowly? Okay. Something wrong with the number? Water again. See the accident. Okay. Does it really work like that? I don't think his egg caused a rain. That's weird. Yeah, but that's again the idea that just one little detail and actions, not necessarily yours, but even of another person. Well, he can still go to the lighthouse though. Like, But there must be another timeline where it didn't happen. So he did come to the lighthouse, but she didn't come because he didn't call. I mean, in her place, I would still come and check. See, he's still levitating. Nobody notices. But I think it's implied to be her. She did come to the spot. Did she see him levitating? What did she think? Or is this like he already is going back in time, so to say? Okay, no, he is here. So she saw him and she left. Well, I mean, he was sleeping. She didn't want to wake him up, but... Okay, what's the plan? To check if... Well, someone else could come here. Not necessarily her. They have some special connection. Oh, girl. Okay, so So they did try and it didn't help. Same. I think it shouldn't be just pills. Okay, so then it's definitely about rebirth. Good job. So, like, the idea also she has some irrational fears. Cute. Then they're scared. Oh. Yeah, that's something like in the DNA, I suppose. Yeah, we definitely have some of that too. Do you feel like her fear radar is broken? I feel like she needs like some talking therapy, not just pills, to like talk through her issues. What the heck is going on with all the red cars? And remember how you came here? That's what he remembered when his psychologist asked him. This is a version of him that maybe, I don't know, went very upset after losing Anna. did something happen because of his safe scamming? And that's how he came to the sci-fi world? Did he just fuck up the time travel? I think maybe like unintentional time travel so much. He kinda time warped there. And then when he was growing up past the age of like 34, 35, what the fuck are they doing? He already was aging up in that sci-fi world up to 117. I don't know. But like in real life, he died at that age. But maybe instead of death, he kind of transports himself into the very far future, where he holds the memories of all these lines. The option of death on his wedding day. Even. Where he didn't even have the life with Elise at all, any kind. Oh wait, she died! So the version where he did marry Elise, but she died. Holy shit! Actually, that happens, like, where one of the persons or both of them die on their wedding day. That feels like especially cruel, you know? They just made this commitment to each other, hoping for the life together, and then one of them or both of them die. That's like especially horrific, right? So I think in this case he was traumatized by that. What is he doing here? Her photos and her ashes that he promised to spread on Mars. I hope he remembers. I wonder if in this case he is trying to actually research his time travel stuff. Maybe this is the option where he becomes this scientist and talks about all of that. Here it's like the time lapse that you just turn around. But maybe he actually does make some scientific discoveries. See, he's so traumatized, he's still trying to imagine that she's here. He gave her the... he still talks to her and gave her the glass. Both. Dude, you're not getting it. Okay, they're very... The song is very happy. Is this a good version with Elise? Where she kind of feels better? I don't know. No, she doesn't look too good. I wonder if she's like also just unhappy with her life. Maybe. Well, I can't spend with you 24/7. You're just bored because you don't seem to have a life. You're just lying here all the time. From what I saw. At least he's applying himself to somewhere. Did he decide to blow up the car in the yard? That's not gonna end well, man. You're going to kill yourself. And maybe your wife. Possibly your kids. It's going to explode. It's like, darling, you're jealous of the car? Don't worry, I'll murder it. Are you happy now? He's becoming a psycho. He's like, for you, I will do anything. Man, you're going insane. What is this? Oh, the wallpaper is still the same, though. Looks like his taste in wallpaper never changes. This poor woman. She could have another timeline where she marries a man who actually loves her. Checked out husband. Girl, divorce. You could have it so much better. Look, he clearly was more invested with his other love interests. It's not just because he is always like in all the plot lines. He clearly has... Yeah, so they are divorcing already. Because we could say he's kind of checked out everywhere because of this mix of memories. But I think clearly he is the most focused on Anna. He clearly cares for Elise a lot. No? Yes. Jin, right. Yeah, and with Jin, he is actually the most checked out. Is it the death option without the water? This is more like suicide. Poor train driver also. Think about how he is going to feel. No, so... Nah. Not today. So... So there's a plotline where it's yes and he dies. There's plotline where it's no and he decides to not do it. Okay, now he's like checking it all the time. Do I do this or do I do it not? Which side of the coin will I see today? Are you really Mr. Jones? So he decided for more interesting plot lines to just use a coin. Like, what will it come out as? Yes or no? Will I murder myself or not? Will I take the role of this other person or not? This is a scam, so this is a crime. No, his name is Nima. He just took the identity of that poor man. How did he have his ID though? The actual Daniel didn't come. Maybe it was actually dangerous to come. They would kill Daniel. And it could be also his death option. Death ending, so to say, right? If we do the game analogy again. Ah, that's when he dies in the bath. We saw it in the beginning, where he takes the identity of Daniel and dies instead of him. Which is good for Daniel. Congrats, Daniel. Well, bit too late, guys. Okay, not good for Daniel. I think they figured it out. Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, also, when they sell shoes nowadays, like, you can't really trust the sizes that they write on the shoes, to be honest. I got size 41 recently. I'm definitely not 41. I'm like 38. This is in the morgue. Oh, girl. Oh, his dad is here. Oh, his mom. That's his dead plot line. So after 7 years, she comes to check on him when he is almost dead. What about G in the middle? 4 and 4. And G is between them. Okay, this is after the space travel. But which version of him goes to space travel? All of the versions melded in one? Or these are also different plot lines? Oh. Well, that's definitely Ellie's version. That's really important when you remember a promise like this, and like after so many years. I think that's commendable. Oh my god, she's still on to about Stefan. I feel like this movie does make a point about like soulmate plotline. Or maybe it's her being delusional, trying to find the reason. Like, I'm unhappy because I actually wanted to be with Stefana, not with you. So there's an option where his wife doesn't love him. Yeah, there's an option when he doesn't love his wife. So yeah, they basically show that Anna is a soulmate, and for her maybe Stefana was her soulmate. Maybe he would come around. Honestly, I disagree with this idea. I think by this time she should be already like long time over Stefan. Maybe I'm just too fickle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a kind of a metaphor again through the water. Okay, so she runs away. What, do you intend to find Stefano? Well, maybe that's for the best. It seems she didn't love you. At least she wasn't dead in that option. Theater? Yeah, that's just like child him watching his different futures, I suppose, right? Like, even when he was there with the angels, right? He could already see all these futures, right? I think it was implied, maybe. And because he didn't get the oblivion thing, oh, Stefan, he kept like remembering everything and all the options. Or with the time theory, he always goes like back in time and then chooses other option, back in time, other option, and it's like the same person going through different lives. Is it Stefano? Nima looked much prettier. Is my video logging or were there actually poses? No, I think he is posing, like in this story. It's like, okay, here's the plot line where she left me. So what happened between her and Stefano? Did it work out? Either nothing happens, or something does. If it is him, maybe I'm just tripping. Kinda similar, no? Yeah, that's the option where his wife Elise died. He got more fixated on these questions. Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe that's what we are getting to. Well, I think something did happen to you. I'm just very particular. Yeah, she doesn't say scum like you. Yeah, I actually I don't. I don't mind self scumming. I do it in games, not in life. Is this converging? Is this him seeing his own death? It seems to be other man, right? Ah, no, wait, is it Peter? So Peter died a death that he died in one of his plot lines. Is this Anne? Was she with this man in this plot line? Was it her husband? Peter? I guess he never met. But Yeah, in this option, he didn't confess about being unable to swim. So for her, he is like nobody, basically, right? Um, yeah, she maybe doesn't even remember him as a kid much. Though I think, wouldn't their parents still like get together? But maybe in that option, they would still live as a brother and sister for a while. So maybe she would kind of remember him at least a little. Or maybe she wouldn't recognize him because he grew up. So in this option, he actually does come here with Anna. She has a lot of color red also throughout the movie. Maybe representing there's like most passion he has is for her. So they meet here. That's like the same plot line where they didn't get together at all throughout their whole life. But life brings them together again. Yeah, that must be like soulmate stuff. Mm. They like subtly hint about his life. I feel like because for him everything happens at the same time. Yeah, that's an option. Ah, that's an option where he was even with dad. He didn't even meet Anna there. Right, right, right. God, I'm getting confused now very much with different. Yeah, that plot line where Elise dies. So here they basically don't know each other much. Now she thinks also that he's a weirdo. And they are starting to converge. Even the neighbor is now like, I thought you drowned. But then it was her husband. But maybe in one plotline he was her husband. So maybe it is the big crunch. Maybe it is the point where they all converge. Now he's just drowning in his own room, which is totally unrealistic. Is this like you have to die by drowning at this point, at this time, no matter where you are, because this is your destiny? I don't know. Do they want to say like no matter what choices you take, there's only one soulmate you have that is like actual soulmate love, and there no matter what choices you make, you will always drown, for example, right? You will always die, no matter how, no matter when. At this age, no matter what choices you make, you will die. But then how do we get to this point where we already have cosmic travel? Okay, here he died to explosion, it seems, not to like water. And so many bikes. Very pretty. The ashes. Game of, okay, they made the game analogy themselves. I don't think that was necessary though. That is a bit too much on the nose. again this dystopian episode. So that's a dream every time? Stairs, okay. Hey, ma'am. What is this weird dystopian future here? A robot? Is the implication that like he doesn't have imagination? That's fine. Is this like because he knew everything that will happen in all the options, he doesn't have imagination because of that? Yeah, sorry, I got a little bit distracted. There was some weird noise from the kitchen. I feel like my parents dropped something, but I think they're okay. Ah, I see. I'm not so slow, you know. I don't know. You went through so many different timelines, lives. Shouldn't you be tired by now? Yeah, in a way. Yeah, like a game. You make different choices. You go through different like options. Nemo, live now. Wake up, leave. But how? What is this place in his mind? Is the sci-fi world actually maybe not real? Nima read the news. What are they? Are they also reversed? Nima turned to page 5. Look at the end of the street. What's there? Is this her number? That's a man's voice. Is he calling to himself now? Looks fabulous. So they is just giving the address. It shouldn't be legal. Him from the future. Well, a little bit, yes. Oh, yeah, thanks. Bastard. Like it's all predetermined. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, so at the old age, he goes through all these timelines? Well, who are you then? Okay, now there's a fucking architect. Ah, he is the architect because he's building his life. Ah, like there are options where you weren't even born. That's why they don't have any records of the old man. Because in the world he is in now, he didn't live alive. Wasn't born. The crunch? That's it? Not going to say anything? Yeah, so basically the sci-fi future, it's him coming from his other world, or like him converging everything and as a converged human somehow coming to that future world, where he himself actually wasn't born in this timeline. Well, put it together, man. Well, he kind of did. Which one you prefer? Okay, I like this. Um, I was scared they're going to be like, no, this is like the perfect option. But these are good words. Okay, I love this. This is a good idea. Oh, it's a quote. Um, like, no matter which choices you make, they can't be wrong. They're just different. Do they have an idea of rebirth? Uh, well, he asked this question in the very beginning of the movie when he was born to those parents. But you think? So it is in his head. So he imagines this future. So they want to say, I think this was the most important divergence here. In near the train where he was choosing mom or dad. He was like thinking through all the possible plot lines that he could have. Like, is he supposed to run all the way after the train if he chooses mom? But if every path, in his opinion, is the right one, how is he supposed to choose? Let's see. Which I prefer? Who do I want to marry? How do I want to die? Yeah, see, the option, we were shown the option if he follows mom. Now there are options if he follows dad. They're kind of more sad, to be honest. I feel like if he follows mom, the options seemed a bit better. But he still dies at the same age, no matter what options, if not earlier. Well, then the life won't go forward if you don't move. You have to move somehow. But if we assume that it is again his imagination as a child, that would also be a good explanation why he doesn't have a past in this world. Because if he does indeed see the future, then he dies no matter what at the age of, like, I don't know what he said, like 35, for example, or something, right? Um, so when he imagines himself that far into the future, that future doesn't actually exist. So nothing has changed. The move is not to move. Yeah, I think the lesson it's just like, I'm not going to choose anything by mom, by dad. I'm living by myself in the wilds. Because this is a choice where I don't know what will happen. And the leaf that can change somebody's life. I think also the good idea of the movie is that, yeah, if you know exactly what will happen, then it can cause like loss of imagination or stagnation, etc. Or the same Sokol in that plot line. I don't know what he was hoping would happen thanks to the Sokol, where he's trying to reconnect with Anna, love of his life. Um. So yeah, I think the idea is maybe it's better when you don't know what will happen, because then it's the excitement of the unknown. You don't know the future. And here they do meet. last words. Like, finally I can rest. Yeah, this is the main plot line. He said, I thought, okay, let's wait a little bit, will he name other women as well? But no, Anna is like the main protagonist, main love interest here. Which again, I feel like the film itself is kind of contradictory here, because he did say like every choice is the right choice, every choice is a viable choice, and when you don't know what happened, it's more exciting, etc., etc. But then also the film clearly shows that Anna was the actual love of his life, like his soulmate, etc. And there is such thing as like destiny and your soulmate. But at the same time, like every little thing, like with butterfly effect, every like leaf, anything can change. Oh, see, it's going back now. Can change your life in any way, and then there's no destiny because anything can change at any point from any little choice, which basically, yes, means no destiny, it's not predetermined. But now if the time goes back, are we led to believe that yes, this is all just his imagination, he imagines the future, that's why we see the time go back, or he actually does go back this time, like I repeated several times, that he does like the safe scamming and goes through this again and again, choosing different options. And this is the option of him getting what did they call it? No, he's going back. And maybe then the people make a different choice and he doesn't die, but like stays with gene regeneration or something. I feel like, I like the simpler explanation that maybe sci-fi world does not exist, and we are just seeing like we are going back when he was very little, and the film is just an exploration how different your life can be through different choices, and that's basically it. The preciousness of the unknown, the important and weight of every choice, and also the idea of that you can't really make a wrong choice, you just make different choices, and yeah, they do impact your life. But since there's no actually like predetermined one destiny, you can't make a wrong choice because the right choice doesn't exist. Maybe there's a better one for you, maybe there's a worse one for you, but there's no right or wrong. Which I think is a better explanation of the movie, because if we take it just as is, as he really exists in this sci-fi future world, it's just too it becomes too contrived, and he even says himself we exist in the imagination of a little child. So I assume it's more like the turning point is him choosing mom or dad, like running after the train, making it or not making it, but more like about him making a decision after all, even though they showed that like the shoe could impact it. Yeah, I think the idea is still like when we go forward in life, right, and we think like, oh, do I do this or do I do that? And for example, let's say you're choosing a university, maybe one in your city or one in another city, right? This is a very important choice that can change your life drastically, and so you might feel frozen, thinking like, but how will my life turn out to be if I choose this or that? And then you feel frozen by the choice you can't choose. You are at that stagnation because you keep thinking of like the possibilities, how will it be, because you can't see the future. But the idea is just choose what you feel like, and it won't be a wrong choice, it will just be a choice. And I think that is a really good idea. Also, the idea of, for example, like, oh, if I did some things different, which people often think about, or maybe if I maybe didn't break up with my boyfriend, maybe if I stayed with him, maybe then he didn't get into that accident with the communal train and he wouldn't die. Maybe it's like my fault somehow. Maybe if I made different choices, somehow he would still be alive. And so obviously these thoughts, they come to people about the past and about the future. And I think the film does make a very good point, as it is what it is. And even though we are led to believe that he does change, he does load the safe and maybe change it, he checks different options, we still go back to the start. So I think it implies we are just shown what could be. But in the end, each person chooses only one life for themselves and goes through it with all this multitude of choices that construct a very unique life, right? And yeah, if we just knew from the start what would happen, we could also be even more frozen with that choice, like he said, right? If we know exactly each option, what will it bring, we would be like, okay, let's compare. Here I have this, but I don't have that. Now here I have like I'm rich, but I don't love my wife. I don't know. Here I'm homeless, but then I meet the love of my life. I don't know. Right? It's just like what I saw from the movie. No, seriously, like you can compare even the littlest of details, and then you will just think forever which is better, and then you will be just unable to move forward and be in stagnation. And then this could even be worse. Imagine you're just not doing anything, you are in this limbo, but time will still go on. You're just not making any choices. You didn't go to university in this city, you didn't go to university in other city, you just didn't go anywhere. You're just sitting in your room day and night, and at the same point in your life. And even though the time goes, your life doesn't move because you don't make any important choices. Even though, yeah, of course we can't really say it like that, because obviously we do make some choices. We can't go through a day without making any choice. And again, this film made me think about many other different media. For example, I think I brought it up before with some other reaction. There is a Russian book. How do they call it in English? I think that's basically the same, like Master and Margarita. Yeah, you don't really like translate that. He is still called a master, I would say. It makes sense in English translation. Basically, you know, this kind. Let me gather my thoughts. I'm still watching, like, I don't think there will be anything after the credits. There's only 20 seconds left. So yeah, the book, Master and Margarita. The idea is, okay, now I'm going to talk about the scene that doesn't involve, like, either of them. Close, I think, in the beginning of the book, we have the scene. Okay, let me set this up. So there is an institute where I went to that institute. It's like a university, but like at a smaller scale. It is a literature institute, and before it was also like a huge hub for people connected with literature to meet up and like have their seminars and get-togethers and stuff like that, right? And we have two characters characters in there, an older one and a younger one. It's just not going into much detail. So they sit on a bench in the book. I'm sorry, in the book. The book just uses a real place. So yeah, they sit on the bench, and the older one is saying, okay, so I have these specific plans. By this time, I'm going to be at that event. And the younger one, who I think admires him, he's like, yeah, sure. But then another man comes in. Well, we know his name is Volant. And I think he's kind of an interpretation of a devil, so to say, in the book. And he asks the older man, he's like, how can you be so sure you are going to be at this event at this specific time? And the man is like, well, I have it planned. And Volan says, well, you won't be there because Annushka has already spilled the oil. And basically the man doesn't understand, but what happens later is that he goes to the metro, to the underground station, and he slips on the oil, and he gets like under the train, and his head gets chopped off. Very graphic. But the idea, there are several ideas here that I think are a little bit conflicting, but also like similar to the movie. First is that obviously you can't know the future. You can't really plan, even for these 5 minutes. I don't know, anything can happen, right? We don't know all the details around the world. You can die at any second. Anything can happen at any second. You can never be 100% sure of what is going to happen, because there are so many, like the film showed, the leaf, the worker, etc., etc. Everyone brings this little detail, little choice to the world that impacts everything and can bring us to any different outcome, right? So you can't like sit there and be 100% sure about everything that is going to happen, even just like in a few hours this evening. And I feel like this is a really good idea for living your life. You know, nothing is set in stone, anything can change. And I feel like there is something freeing about this too. But also at the same time, that scene shows that there is some destiny. He is like, well, it's not going to happen. He knows for sure, because he's the devil, because he knows he's going to sleep on the oil. So now you bring the idea of destiny, that something is predetermined. We know for sure that is going to happen. And I feel like the ideas presented here are conflicting. It is interesting, but at the same time conflicting, and that's what I see from the movie as well. I feel like it presents the same ideas and in the same conflicting way as Master and Margarita does. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I feel like maybe that's just an exploration, like the movie is an exploration of different ideas, because we get those segments also where he does his like scientific talk. He's like, what would happen? We don't really know. Like, what does this mean for us? We don't really know. And I think like that's the main answer. We don't really know. So we should just, we can explore, we can theorize, we can write books about what could happen, we can write fantasies in our head about what could happen, but we can never really know. Maybe the devil can, but not us. And so the idea is just to live your life and try to live it as you want, make the choices that you want to make, and just do your best with what you have, and you will have your own unique journey. And I think that's pretty beautiful. But yeah, I think that's it with my thoughts on the movie. I'm afraid I will just start repeating myself. Maybe I will have other thoughts later. Oh, wait. I remembered one little thing about love. I wanted to say something. So I started the idea with that, yeah, we can fall in love. He was talking about falling in love. Like, is it pheromones? Is it something else? Again, we don't really know. But yeah, I just mentioned that, yeah, we can fall in love, as I said, without even seeing a person. So I wanted to continue the thought just a little bit. I just didn't have time throughout the movie. That life is more about connection, about emotional connection. And not just, well, for me, maybe personally, maybe it is different for other people, but I feel like that is the most important part, not the physical but emotional. And when he had his segment, he mostly talked about physical, and obviously we see Anna being in red shown as passion, their scenes being very sexual, whereas with the other girls we didn't see that. I think the film thinks that it's more physical, but and that he didn't, but he also didn't have as deep emotional connection with other girls as well. He had the more emotional connection with Ho too. So I feel like maybe like both are important in the film, and yeah, maybe for most people both are important. Like you still have to be attracted to your partner, I suppose, in a way. So yeah, that's just like another very difficult question with many variables and many details. So we're just going back to the same point of me saying we don't really know. Okay, please share your thoughts on the movie. And I wanted to say, like, thank you for requesting the movie to my patron. I'm going to credit him as in description as usual. I really enjoyed. I was excited about watching it, and yeah, it didn't disappoint. It was very enjoyable. Like a lot of the movies that you recommend, they are so interesting and they give a lot of food for thought. They are very like interpretation, like you can interpret them in different ways, which is always exciting. But yeah, overall, whoever you are watching this video, if you got to this point, please share your thoughts in the comments. If you have something to add, maybe discuss, because this is a movie that is very good for discussion. But yeah, as I said, that would be it for today. So thank you for watching and see ya.